I wanted to expand my knowledge of crypto and have a peek into the ins and outs of being successful with crypto. So I went to my favorite place to learn new things, YouTube, and I emailed my favorite crypto YouTubers, not really expecting anyone to actually do an interview with me. But after 3 days of emailing YouTubers, one answered me, and he said he'd be down to do it. His name is Sam, and he runs a YouTube channel full time where he talks about crypto and other things to do with investing. We set up a deadline for when we would do the interview by. He's in America Eastern Time, so I needed to find out a time that would suit us both. I found out that whatever time it is right now for me is the exact opposite for him. So after a bit of back and forth about times and dates, we decided we would meet and talk on the 26th at 9 p.m. for me, but for him it would be 9 a.m. So now that I have arranged an interview, I need to find a way to record it. But after a bit of research, I found that all Apple laptops come with screen recording software. I tested it and it was good, but there was one issue: it didn't record the internal audio, so I couldn't hear what was happening in the Zoom call that we would do, but I could see what was happening on the screen. So I had to download some software that would record the internal audio. I also needed a platform to video call him over, and instead of Zoom, I tried using it, but I couldn't really work my way around it, so I decided to use Skype. So now that everything was sorted, I remembered that the interview would be taking place at 9 p.m. for me, so I needed to get some lighting together because inside it would be quite dark, even with the house lights on. So I got a ring light and set it up in front of me to give me some more natural lighting. So the day of the interview came around and I had a list of questions that I wanted to ask him. The first one I wanted to know is what got him into investing. I wanted to know this so that I could figure out some of the reasons other people started to educate themselves and invest. The interview's about to start. Let's ask him my first question.
So, what got you into investing into crypto and stuff?
Yeah, so I came out of school with a lot of student loans. So I was studying medicine, and I decided I didn't want to go back to school for 4 more years. I had gotten done with all my undergraduate classes, like biochemistry, physics, multiple years of chemistry, and all that kind of thing. So when I realized I wasn't going to be making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, I figured I probably should know what to do with my money, especially because I had 6 figures in student loan debt. So that's when I got really into investing and retiring early. And then crypto came a little bit later. I hadn't really heard about it except for one time in college. So then I started to learn more about it around the pandemic crash, like 2020.
Cool.
So Sam explained that he wanted to educate himself in investing because at the time he had a lot of student debt, so he needed to create another form of income, and he got really into retiring early. And then the pandemic crash came along, so Sam was hearing things about crypto, and that's when he really got into it. The next question I wanted to know was what his biggest loss of money was and what he learnt from it all.
What was your biggest loss of money, like learning experience in crypto?
Yeah, so if you had asked me this like 4 months ago, I probably wouldn't have had anything, just because the market had been doing so well. But I had a lot of money in Terra Luna, and I had even more money than that in UST, like the stable coin that you could put on. It's called Anchor Protocol. And basically what happened was that was supposed to be worth $1, and they had a mechanism that was automated to keep it at $1. And it was one of the largest cryptocurrencies in the world, but basically there was a depegging event where it fell from $1 to 98 cents, and then everyone figured it would be fine. So then it started to come back up, and then it kept on getting worse and worse. And I know a lot of people that had money in it. I had money in it, and I lost $100,000 in a few days. So
That's crazy.
yeah, so
I lost about
I know
$100 in that.
yeah.
About
Oh,
$100.
you did? You said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lost about $100. Yeah.
Yeah, and
It was
like
a good learning experience because I got to learn about how stuff is pegged to like the US dollar and stuff like that.
yeah, and it's all relative, right? Like I know people that lost $500,000 and it was no big deal for them because they have 10, 20, 30 million dollars. And then, I know people that had $100, and it just is all dependent on your situation because a lot of money was lost really quickly. So, I mean, definitely a refresher or a reminder that you have to be careful, and there's a lot of risk in things even if you don't think there is in cryptocurrency.
Yeah. The next question I wanted to ask Sam is what I should be doing in this current market. Should I sell or should I buy more?
So I've been investing into crypto for around a year now.
Yep.
And I've put quite a bit in, but I'm about $700 down at the moment. Do you think I should keep investing and hold it, or do you think I should start trying to sell it off?
Yeah. So you probably have heard this before, but I can't make financial decisions for you, because I don't know your situation and I'm not registered for that. But
would you say that now's a good time for selling, or should you hold in this current market?
Yeah, so I think unless you're overextended where you need the money for something, and if that was the case, you probably shouldn't have invested in the first place. Like if I have something that I have to pay for around Christmas, right? I should not be investing heavily now because anything can happen over a couple of months. But I know personally, I've just been buying more. And I realize for some people it's harder because they might have had like a set amount of money that they had set aside from, like, let's say birthdays or working a summer job or something, and they just put it all into the market. Now they can't keep on buying. But I think unless something has drastically changed in the crypto market, the thesis should still be the same. The only difference is it's cheaper to buy what you wanted to buy before. So I personally have been continuously buying, not really looking at selling anything right now. And I think it's really hard because some people say, why don't you just sell and then try to buy back at a lower price? Because, I mean, there are a lot of things that could happen where the market falls, but no one knows if that's going to happen. And there are a ton of people that get paid a lot of money to try to figure that out, and they don't really have that much success at it either. So I think the best option is to probably hold or to continue to buy a little bit here and there when you can.
So how would you explain blockchain technology to someone who's never heard of it before? Or how would you explain that to someone?
Yeah, so I would say it's basically just like an open ledger where anyone can contribute and then people can verify it online. Like there are a lot of businesses and a lot of things these days that are private, and this is just something where everyone can see it, essentially. Can I end on one thing?
Yeah, sure.
So I think a lot of cryptocurrencies get a bad rap, and probably for good reason, because a lot of them are scams, and a lot of them you end up losing money on. But a lot of people don't understand, like Bitcoin and even Ethereum and some of the top 10 cryptocurrencies, like their risk level is very different from anything else. And I think Bitcoin is probably the most interesting thing. It was really what started the cryptocurrency, all of cryptocurrency. And I think the biggest thing about it that people don't understand, that whoever's watching this should probably look into, is it's really the only thing that you can actually own that can't be taken away from you. Like if you store it properly, you basically have a password to it. Anything like this mug or this house, if it can be taken away. If I do something that the government doesn't like, or if I don't pay property taxes, I don't know if you guys have those there, but we have them here. So even if you own a house outright, you've paid for it, you still have to pay thousands of dollars each year in property taxes. If the bank doesn't like what you're doing, they can shut down your account. Basically anything you have can be taken away, but this is one of the only things that can't be. And then you can also send it across the world very quickly and without permission. So you don't need your bank to approve it. You don't have to wait till banking hours. So if I want to make a payment to you, I can do it within 10 seconds. And then it's also got a fixed supply. Anything else, any kind of asset, whether it's stocks or even real estate, if it becomes really valuable, more people will, or there'll be more of a supply. Like if a stock goes up really quickly, they'll sell more shares, and then your ownership gets diluted. If real estate's really hot in some city, some new developer will come in and make higher apartments, so that way they can sell more apartments. And this is one of the only thing that's fixed, so it's really easy to tell where it's going to go in the future. So I think that's just the value statement of Bitcoin. And I think people getting into cryptocurrency really look at all the other cryptocurrencies because they're so much more exciting, and you think you can make a lot more money. But I think Bitcoin, you still can make a lot of money, and it's way less risky. But I have been geeking out on learning more about it for years, and you can keep on finding out new stuff. So there's definitely a lot of materials out there to learn more about it if you want to too.
Cool. Thanks a lot for speaking to me.
Yeah, definitely.